Breathe deeply and prepare to discover the 5 habits that separate people who attract money effortlessly from people who struggle financially their entire lives. These aren't the habits you think they are. This isn't about working harder or saving more or budgeting better. Those things have their place, but they're not what magnetize money. What I'm about to share with you are the energetic habits, the consciousness habits, the vibrational habits that create a magnetic field around you that pulls money toward you naturally, consistently, inevitably. And by the end of tonight, you'll know exactly what these 5 habits are and exactly how to install them in your life, starting immediately. Before we dive in, I need you to make a commitment right now. Leave a comment with these words: money flows to me naturally. Not I hope money flows to me, not I want money to flow to me, but money flows to me naturally. Present tense, because that's not a wish. That's the truth of what happens when you practice these 5 habits. So write it now. Money flows to me naturally. And feel something shift inside you as you declare this. This is you claiming your magnetic power. This is you activating the frequency that attracts wealth. Now let me explain what I mean by magnetizing money, because this is crucial to understand. Most people think attracting money is about effort, about force, about pushing and grinding and hustling. And yes, action is important. Work matters. Discipline counts. But that's not what magnetism is. Magnetism is effortless. A magnet doesn't try to attract metal. It doesn't strain. It doesn't force. It doesn't push. It just is magnetic. And metal comes to it naturally, automatically, inevitably. The magnet doesn't chase the metal. The metal is pulled toward the magnet. That's what these 5 habits create. They make you magnetic to money, so that money comes to you through opportunities you didn't see before, through people who want to pay you, through ideas that create value, through circumstances that align perfectly, through channels you didn't even know existed. You're not chasing money. Money is flowing to you. And this isn't luck. This isn't chance. This isn't random. This is law. This is how energy works in the universe. When you vibrate at the frequency of these 5 habits, when you practice them consistently, when you embody them fully, you create a magnetic field around you that money must respond to. It has no choice, because money is energy. Everything is energy. And energy flows to matching frequencies. Energy is attracted to resonant vibrations. When your frequency matches wealth, wealth flows to you. When your habits create magnetic energy, money is pulled toward you like iron filings to a magnet. This is science. This is metaphysics. This is quantum reality. This is how the universe operates at the deepest level. If you haven't already, write in the comments: money flows to me naturally. And if you're ready to stop chasing money and start attracting it, if you're ready to become magnetic instead of desperate, if you're ready to shift from force to flow, subscribe to this channel and like this video. Because these 5 habits I'm about to reveal will change your relationship with money forever. And when your relationship with money changes, when your energy around money shifts, when your vibration regarding wealth transforms, your bank account must change too. Your income must increase. Your financial reality must match your new frequency. It's law. It's inevitable. It's guaranteed. Let's start with habit 1. Gratitude for money you already have. This is the foundation. This is where magnetism begins. This is the base frequency that all wealth attraction builds upon. And most people completely miss this because they're too focused on what they don't have to appreciate what they do have. They're so busy looking at the lack, staring at the empty spaces, obsessing over what's missing, that they completely ignore, completely overlook, completely take for granted what's already present. And this creates a catastrophic energetic problem. Because here's the law that most people don't understand. What you appreciate appreciates. What you're grateful for multiplies. What you acknowledge expands. What you focus on with positive emotion grows. When you feel genuine gratitude for the money you currently have, even if it's just a few dollars, even if it's just change in your pocket, even if it's just the ability to buy food today, you send a powerful signal to the universe. That signal says, I have money. I recognize money. I see money. I appreciate money. I value money. I'm grateful for money. And the universe, which is essentially a mirror reflecting back your dominant frequency, responds by sending you more of what you're appreciating. More money, more opportunities to receive money, more channels for money to flow through. Because you've proven you can recognize it, appreciate it, be grateful for it. You've proven you're a good steward of money. You've proven you value it. And the universe always gives more to those who value what they have. But when you ignore the money you have, when you dismiss small amounts as insignificant, when you focus only on lack, only on what's missing, only on what you don't have, when you complain about not having enough, when you stress about money constantly, when your dominant emotion around money is fear or anxiety or worry or frustration, you send a completely different signal. That signal says, says, I don't have money. Money is scarce. Money is hard to get. Money doesn't come to me. I'm always lacking. I'm always struggling. There's never enough. And the universe, being that perfect mirror, responds by giving you more of that experience. More lack, more scarcity, more struggle, more situations where you don't have enough. Because that's what you're focusing on. That's what you're giving your energy to. That's what you're vibrating. And your vibration always creates your reality. So, habit 1 is this. Every single day, without fail, without exception, you practice gratitude for money. And here's exactly how you do it. This is a specific practice, a deliberate ritual, a conscious habit. Every morning, before you start your day, before you check your phone, before you look at social media, before you dive into emails or responsibilities or distractions, you sit for just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. You can do this in bed. You can do this in a chair. You can do this anywhere. But you sit. You become present. You take 3 deep breaths. And then you take out your wallet, or you open your banking app, or you look at whatever money you have access to in that moment. And you look at it. Really look at it. See it. Acknowledge it. Recognize it. Even if it's $1, even if it's 50 cents, even if it's just $10 in your account, you look at it and you say, either out loud or silently, thank you for this money. Thank you that I have this. Thank you for the abundance that's already in my life. Thank you for this physical representation of value. Thank you that I can exchange this for what I need. Thank you for the opportunities this represents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you say these words, you feel them. You don't just recite. You don't just go through motions. You genuinely feel grateful. You genuinely appreciate. You let the feeling of gratitude fill your chest. You let appreciation flow through your body. You connect emotionally with thankfulness for this money. And here's what's crucial. You're not pretending you're rich when you're not. You're not lying to yourself. You're not ignoring reality. You're simply choosing to appreciate what is, rather than obsess over what isn't. You're choosing gratitude over complaint. You're choosing acknowledgement over dismissal. You're choosing to see what you have rather than focus only on what you lack. And that simple choice, that simple shift in focus, that simple change in emotion creates a completely different vibration, a wealth vibration, an abundance frequency, a magnetic energy. Do this every single morning. 2 minutes. Look at your money. Feel grateful for it. Appreciate it. Acknowledge it. Thank it. And watch what happens. I'm telling you, if you do only this one practice consistently for 1 week, within that week, you will notice opportunities to receive more money appearing. Someone will mention a side project. Someone will ask if you can help with something for pay. An unexpected check will arrive. A refund you forgot about will come through. Money will show up in ways you didn't plan, didn't expect, didn't orchestrate. Within 2 weeks of consistent practice, unexpected money will show up multiple times. Within a month, your income will start increasing. New streams will open. Existing streams will expand. And none of this is magic. None of this is woo-woo. This is energetics. This is vibrational law. You shifted your frequency from lack to appreciation. And appreciation is magnetic. Appreciation attracts. Appreciation multiplies. The reason most people stay broke is not because they don't work hard enough. It's because they vibrate at lack frequency. They wake up and immediately focus on what they don't have. They look at bills with stress. They check their account with anxiety. They think about money with fear. And all of that is lack vibration. All of that is scarcity frequency. And scarcity frequency repels money. It pushes money away. It blocks channels. It closes doors. But gratitude frequency attracts money. Appreciation vibration magnetizes wealth. Thankfulness energy opens channels. And you can shift from one to the other in 2 minutes every morning. That's how powerful this first habit is. Write in the comments again. Money flows to me naturally. Reinforce this truth. Claim this reality. Activate this frequency. Let it sink deeper into your subconscious with each repetition. Habit 2. Expecting money from multiple sources. This is a massive paradigm shift that most broke people never make. Broke people think money comes from one place, their job, their business, one source, one channel, one stream, and they put all their focus, all their energy, all their attention, all their expectation on that one source. They think, I get paid once a month from my job, or I make money only when I make a sale, or my income comes from this one thing. And by thinking this way, by believing this limitation, they close themselves off to all other possibilities. They become blind to other opportunities. They miss channels that are trying to open. They block streams that are trying to flow because their consciousness, their expectation, their awareness is focused on only one source. But wealthy people, people who naturally magnetize money, they think completely differently. They know that money flows from infinite sources. They understand that the universe has unlimited ways to deliver wealth. They recognize that opportunities are everywhere, constantly appearing, always available. And they expect money from all directions. They expect it from their job and from side projects and from investments and from unexpected gifts and from opportunities they didn't plan for and from channels they didn't even know existed. They're open to receiving from any direction. They're alert to possibility everywhere. They're aware that money can come through any avenue. And because they're open, because they expect it, because they're paying attention, money finds them through multiple channels. This is not just mindset. This is not just positive thinking. This is paradigm shift. This is changing your fundamental belief about how money works. Moving from I get money from one source to money flows to me constantly from multiple sources. And when you make this shift, when you truly open yourself to receiving from any direction, when you genuinely expect money from everywhere, something magical happens. The universe can deliver money to you in ways you never imagined. But if you're closed, if you're only expecting money from one source, if you're only looking in one direction, you block all the other channels. You limit how the universe can provide for you. You restrict the flow to one tiny stream when there could be rivers flowing to you from every direction. So habit 2 is this. Every day you affirm and expect money from multiple sources. You say to yourself, either in the morning or throughout the day or both, money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. I am open to receiving from any direction. The universe has infinite ways to provide for me, and I allow all of them. Money flows to me through multiple channels. I see opportunities everywhere. I am alert to possibilities constantly. I expect income from many streams. I welcome abundance from all directions. And you don't just say these words. You believe them. You feel them. You embody them. You live them. You become someone who expects money from everywhere. And then critically, you stay alert. You notice opportunities. You follow inspiration. You pay attention to ideas. You listen when people mention projects. You explore possibilities when they present themselves. You don't dismiss small opportunities because you're waiting for one big one. You don't ignore alternative income streams because you're focused only on your main source. You're open. You're receptive. You're aware. You're alert. When someone mentions they need help with something, you're interested. When you have an idea for creating value, you explore it. When a door opens, even a small door, you walk through it. You're not limiting yourself to one path. You're open to all paths. And money comes through whichever path is easiest, most aligned, most available at any given moment. I've seen this happen countless times. Someone practicing this habit suddenly gets a call about a freelance project they weren't expecting, or they find money they forgot they had saved, or someone pays them back a debt they'd written off, or they receive a bonus they didn't know was coming, or they have an idea that generates income, or they sell something they no longer need, or an investment pays out, or a passive income stream starts flowing. It's not one thing, it's multiple things, because they're magnetic to money from all directions. They're not blocking any channel, they're allowing all channels, and money flows through the path of least resistance to reach them. The broke person who expects money from only one source stays limited to that one source, and if that source is slow, they're slow. If that source dries up, they panic. If that source is insufficient, they struggle. But the person who expects money from multiple sources never feels trapped, never feels limited, never feels dependent, because they know if one stream slows, others will flow. If one door closes, others are opening. If one source isn't enough, more sources are available. They live in abundance consciousness. They operate from infinite possibility. And that consciousness, that paradigm, that frequency magnetizes money from everywhere. And here's something powerful. When you start receiving money from multiple sources, even small amounts from different places, it proves to your subconscious that you're not limited. It proves that money can come from anywhere. It proves that the universe has many ways to provide. And that proof shifts your paradigm even more deeply. It makes multiple source consciousness your new normal, your new default, your automatic expectation. And once that becomes automatic, once you genuinely expect money from everywhere, you become permanently magnetic. Money flows to you constantly because you're constantly open to it, constantly expecting it, constantly allowing it from all directions. Habit 3. Spending consciously from abundance, not compulsively from fear. This is where most people get it completely backwards. They think they need to hoard money, pinch every penny, never spend, save everything, grip tightly to every dollar. And while saving is important, while building reserves matters, while financial responsibility is crucial, hoarding comes from scarcity consciousness, and scarcity consciousness repels money. Holding on too tightly blocks flow. Gripping from fear creates more situations where where you need to grip from fear, because the energy of hoarding says, there's not enough, this might be all I get, I better hold on to this because more might not come. And the universe responds to that frequency by creating more experiences of not enough, more situations where you feel you need to hoard, more scarcity. But abundance consciousness understands flow, understands circulation, understands that money is like water. It must flow to stay healthy. When water stops moving, it becomes stagnant. When money stops moving, it becomes blocked. Abundance consciousness spends, yes, but it spends consciously. It spends from abundance, not compulsively from fear. It spends with joy, not with anxiety. It spends with gratitude, not with guilt. And that energy of abundance in spending actually attracts more money, actually magnetizes more flow, actually opens more channels. So the habit is not to never spend. The habit is not to hoard and never enjoy your money. The habit is to spend consciously from abundance consciousness rather than compulsively from scarcity consciousness. And here's what this means practically. When you spend money from abundance consciousness, you feel good about it. You feel grateful that you have money to spend. You feel abundant in the act of spending. You're not worried that spending this money means you won't have more. You're not anxious that this might be all you get. You trust that more is coming. You know that money is flowing constantly. You understand that this purchase is part of healthy circulation, not depletion. So you spend joyfully, gratefully, confidently, consciously. And that energy of abundance in spending, that frequency of trust and flow, actually attracts more money to you because you're vibrating at the frequency of, I have plenty, I can afford this, more is always coming, I trust the flow. And the universe matches that frequency by ensuring that yes, more is always coming. Yes, you do have plenty. Yes, the flow continues. But when you spend from scarcity consciousness, from fear, from the belief that you might not have enough, even if you're buying something you need, even if the purchase is necessary, your energy is tight, contracted, worried, anxious. You're spending, yes, but you're spending with the feeling of, I can barely afford this. This is taking from my limited resources. I'm worried I won't have enough now. What if I need this money later? What if something happens? And that energy, that vibration, that frequency repels money because you're broadcasting scarcity even while spending. You're vibrating lack even while purchasing. So even though you're engaging in the flow of money by spending, you're doing it from the wrong frequency. And frequency is everything. Frequency is what creates. Frequency is what attracts. Frequency is what magnetizes. The habit is this: before you spend any money, any amount, for anything, you pause just for a moment, just for a breath, and you check in with your energy. You ask yourself, am I about to spend this from abundance or scarcity? Am I feeling grateful and joyful, or worried and tight? Am I trusting that more is coming, or fearing that this might be all I have? If you notice you're in scarcity, you don't necessarily stop the purchase. You shift your energy first. You take a breath. You remember that money is always flowing. You feel grateful that you have money to spend. You acknowledge that this purchase is serving you somehow. You trust that more money is on its way. You shift into abundance, and then you make the purchase from that place, from abundance, from gratitude, from trust, from joy. And notice how different it feels. Notice how when you spend from abundance consciousness, you don't feel depleted afterward. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel worried. You feel good. You feel empowered. You feel like you just participated in healthy flow. You feel abundant even though you just spent money. That's the sign you did it right. That's the sign you were in abundance frequency. And that frequency is what magnetizes more money to you. Even if you're buying groceries, even if you're paying a bill, even if it's something mundane, something routine, something necessary, you do it from abundance. You feel grateful you can afford it. You feel grateful you have food to buy, or shelter to pay for, or electricity to use, or water to drink. You feel abundant in having resources to exchange for these things. You trust more resources are coming. And that energy, practiced consistently with every purchase, every payment, every exchange of money, creates a magnetic field that draws money to you constantly, because you're always in abundance frequency. You're always vibrating wealth. You're always operating from trust and flow rather than from fear and contraction. This habit alone, if practiced consistently, will transform your relationship with money. You'll notice that spending stops feeling scary. Bills stop creating anxiety. Purchases stop generating guilt, because you're doing everything from abundance consciousness. And abundance consciousness feels good, feels powerful, feels freeing. And that good feeling is high vibration. And high vibration attracts. High vibration magnetizes. High vibration creates more of itself. Write one more time in the comments: money flows to me naturally. Each time you write this, you're activating the frequency deeper. You're installing the program stronger. You're becoming more magnetic. Let it sink in. Let it become become true. Let it become you. Habit 4. Giving before you think you can afford to. This is the most counterintuitive habit of all 5, but it's also potentially the most powerful. This is the habit that breaks scarcity paradigm at the deepest level. This is the practice that proves to your subconscious that you're abundant. This is the action that shifts identity most dramatically. Broke people think, I'll give when I have extra. I'll be generous when I'm rich. I'll donate when I have more than enough. Right now, I need to keep everything I have because I barely have enough for myself. And that's understandable logic. That makes sense to the rational mind. But that's scarcity consciousness, and scarcity consciousness keeps you broke. That's the paradox. The very thinking that seems protective actually creates more of what you're trying to protect against. Abundance consciousness gives even when it seems you can't afford to, even when it requires stretching, even when it feels uncomfortable. Not because abundance consciousness is irresponsible, not because it's reckless, but because giving proves something crucial to your subconscious mind. Giving proves that you have abundance. Giving proves that you have enough to share. Giving proves that you're not in survival mode. Giving proves that you trust more is coming. And that proof shifts your paradigm, shifts your identity, shifts your vibration, shifts your reality. Think about it from your subconscious mind's perspective. When you give money away, when you choose to part with money that you could keep, especially when money feels tight, you're making a powerful statement. You're saying to your subconscious, I have enough to share. I'm not in lack. I'm abundant. I trust the flow. I know more is coming. I'm not operating from scarcity. I'm operating from overflow. And your subconscious hears that statement loud and clear. Your subconscious believes it. Your subconscious accepts it as truth about your identity. And your subconscious begins to create circumstances that match that identity. Circumstances of abundance. Circumstances of having enough. Circumstances of money flowing in. Circumstances of overflow. Because your identity is now, I'm someone who gives, not I'm someone who barely has enough. Your identity is now, I'm abundant enough to help others, not I'm struggling to survive. Your identity is now, I trust the flow, not I'm afraid of running out. And identity creates reality, always, without exception. Your dominant identity always manifests as your dominant experience. So when you shift your identity through giving, when you prove to yourself that you're abundant by acting abundantly, you create abundant results. Not because the giving itself has magic power, though there's certainly energetic benefit, but because giving shifts who you believe you are, and who you believe you are determines what you experience. The habit is this: regularly, consistently, without fail, you give money. It doesn't have to be a lot. In fact, it's better if you start small and build. It could be $5 a week, $10 a week, $20 a month, whatever amount feels like a stretch for you currently, but isn't irresponsible or reckless. The amount that makes you slightly uncomfortable but not panicked. The amount that requires you to trust but doesn't create genuine hardship. That's your starting point. That's your threshold. That's where growth happens. And you give it freely. You give it joyfully. You give it without expecting anything back. You give it because you're choosing to operate from abundance. You give it to a cause you believe in, to someone genuinely in need, to someone whose work you appreciate and want to support. You give it with the energy of, I have enough to share. I'm abundant. I trust more is coming. You give it as proof to yourself that you're not in scarcity. You give it as evidence to your subconscious that you're wealthy in consciousness, even if not yet wealthy in bank account. And here's what happens when you do this consistently. When you make giving a non-negotiable habit. When you give, even when it stretches you, your subconscious paradigm shifts. Initially, giving might feel uncomfortable, might feel scary, might trigger anxiety, because your old programming says, you can't afford this. You need every dollar. This is irresponsible. Nah, but if you give anyway, if you push through that resistance, if you choose abundance consciousness over scarcity programming, something shifts. The next time you give, it feels slightly easier. The resistance is less. The fear is quieter. And gradually, over time, giving becomes natural. Giving becomes joyful. Giving becomes something you look forward to, rather than something you resist. And as giving becomes natural, as your identity shifts to, I'm someone who gives, as abundance consciousness becomes your default, money starts flowing to you differently, more easily, more frequently, from more sources. People want to pay you. Opportunities appear. Ideas come. Doors open. And often, the return is far greater than what you gave. Not because the universe is repaying you transactionally, but because you shifted your frequency. You changed your identity. You proved you're abundant. And abundant identity creates abundant reality. I've seen this happen repeatedly. I've seen people start giving just $10 a week, consistently, no matter what, as a non-negotiable abundance practice. And within months, their income doubles, or triples, or a completely completely unexpected source of money appears, or a business opportunity emerges, or they get a raise they weren't expecting, or an investment pays out. The money comes back multiplied, often many times over. Not because the $10 had magical power, but because giving $10 every week, consistently, regardless of circumstances, shifted their consciousness from scarcity to abundance, from hoarding to flowing, from fear to trust, from barely enough to share. And that shift is what created the increase. That shift is what magnetized the money. That shift is what transformed their financial reality. And beyond the money, beyond the external results, giving feels good. Giving connects you to something larger than yourself. Giving creates meaning. Giving generates joy that money spent on yourself often doesn't create. And that joy, that meaning, that good feeling is high vibration. And high vibration attracts more good things, including more money, more opportunities, more abundance of all kinds. So giving benefits you not just energetically and financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. It's a complete win, an absolute upward spiral of benefit. But you have to start. You have to give before you feel you can afford to. You have to prove abundance through action before circumstances prove it through results. You have to operate from your desired identity before your current reality reflects it. That's the leap. That's the courage. That's the faith. And that's what creates transformation. Habit 5. Celebrating every bit of money that comes in. This is the habit that amplifies everything. This is the practice that accelerates your magnetism exponentially. This is the multiplier, the amplifier, the accelerator. Most people completely ignore this. Most people have terrible habits around receiving money. They receive small amounts and don't even acknowledge them. They find $1 on the street and they don't pick it up because it's only $1. They receive $5 and they dismiss it as insignificant. They get a small payment and immediately their mind goes to this isn't enough, rather than this is something. And by doing this, by dismissing small amounts, by not acknowledging money when it comes, by not celebrating receipt, they're training their subconscious to ignore money, to not value money, to not appreciate money, to not recognize money. And what you don't appreciate doesn't multiply. What you don't acknowledge doesn't expand. What you don't celebrate doesn't increase. But when you celebrate every bit of money that comes in, when you acknowledge every dollar, every cent, every payment, no matter how small, when you get excited about all money, when you express gratitude for every amount, when you make a big deal about every inflow, you're training your subconscious to recognize money, to value money, to appreciate money, to celebrate money, to see money everywhere. And what you celebrate multiplies. What you appreciate appreciates. What you acknowledge expands. What you get excited about increases. This is law. The habit is this. Every single time money comes to you, through any channel, in any amount, no matter how small, you celebrate. You don't dismiss it. You don't minimize it. You don't ignore it. You celebrate. And here's exactly what this looks like in practice. You find a penny on the ground. You pick it up. You hold it. You feel genuinely happy. And you say out loud if you can, silently if you must, yes, money is coming to me. Thank you, universe. Even this penny is proof that money flows to me. And you mean it. You feel it. You're genuinely excited about finding a penny. Not because a penny is significant financially, but because a penny is evidence of flow. A penny is proof that money exists around you. A penny is confirmation that you're magnetic. A penny is a sign that the universe is responding to your frequency. You receive a $5 payment for something. Maybe someone paid you back. Maybe you sold something small. Doesn't matter. You celebrate. Yes, money is flowing. $5 came to me. This is amazing. More is coming. Thank you. You feel excited. You feel grateful. You acknowledge this money. You appreciate this money. You celebrate this flow. You don't think, it's only $5. You think, $5 came to me. I'm magnetic. Money flows. You receive your salary, your regular paycheck. You don't just look at it with a shrug and think, well, I worked for this. It's expected. It's not enough anyway. No. You celebrate big. Yes, this money came to me. Look at this abundance. I attracted this. I created value and received this in return. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You feel genuinely grateful, genuinely excited, genuinely abundant, because you are abundant. You just received money. That's abundance. That's flow. That's magnetism working. And here's what this does energetically. Here's why this is so powerful. It creates a feedback loop of appreciation and multiplication. The universe sends you money. You celebrate with genuine excitement and gratitude. Your celebration raises your vibration. Your higher vibration attracts more money. More money comes. You celebrate more. Your vibration rises higher. Even more money comes. You celebrate even more. And it's an upward spiral, a compounding effect, an acceleration acceleration of flow. Money, celebration, higher vibration, more money, more celebration, even higher vibration, even more money. The spiral spins faster and faster. The flow increases more and more. The magnetism gets stronger and stronger. Plus, and this is crucial, celebrating money feels amazing. It creates joy. It generates happiness. It produces excitement. And all of those emotions are high-frequency vibrations. And high-frequency vibrations attract more high-frequency experiences, including more money, more opportunities, more abundance of all kinds. So by celebrating money, you're not just appreciating the money itself. You're raising your entire frequency. You're elevating your whole vibration. You're becoming a more powerful magnet for everything good, not just money. The positive effects compound beyond just financial increase. And there's a psychological component too. When you celebrate every bit of money, you train your brain to notice money, to see money, to be alert to money. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters what you pay attention to, gets programmed to spot money everywhere. You start noticing coins on the ground you would have walked past before. You start remembering people owe you money you had forgotten about. You start seeing opportunities to receive money you would have been blind to previously, because your brain is now trained to look for money, to notice money, to see money. And what you see, you can act on. What you notice, you can receive. What you're aware of, you can attract. So starting today, starting right now, make celebration a non-negotiable habit. Make it automatic. Make it your default response to any money coming in. Every time you receive money, celebrate. Out loud if you're alone. Silently but with full emotion if you're around others. But celebrate. Acknowledge. Appreciate. Get excited. Feel grateful. Make a big deal about it. And watch how quickly money starts flowing to you in greater and greater amounts. Watch how opportunities multiply. Watch how channels open. Watch how your income increases, because you've become magnetic, because you've trained your subconscious to see, appreciate, and celebrate money. And what your subconscious values, it creates more of, always. Write one final time in the comments: money flows to me naturally. Feel it becoming more true with each repetition. Feel yourself becoming more magnetic with each declaration. Feel money beginning to respond to your new frequency. Feel the shift happening right now in this moment as you claim this truth. Now, let me teach you how to install all 5 of these habits systematically, how to make them automatic, how to embody them completely, how to make them your new normal, so that magnetizing money becomes your permanent state. Because knowing the habits isn't enough. Understanding them isn't sufficient. You have to practice them. You have to live them. You have to make them so automatic that you don't even think about them anymore. They're just who you are. They're just what you do. They're just your natural way of being. And I'm going to give you a 30-day installation system that will turn these 5 habits into your new operating system, into your new paradigm, into your permanent way of relating to money. Week 1, gratitude foundation only. For the first 7 days, you're going to focus exclusively on habit 1, just gratitude for money you already have. Don't try to practice all 5 habits at once. That's too much. That's overwhelming. That splits your focus. Instead, master one habit at a time. Start with the foundation. Start with gratitude. Every single morning for 7 days, first thing, before anything else, you sit with whatever money you have and you feel genuine gratitude for it. 2 minutes minimum. 5 minutes is even better. Really feel it. Really appreciate it. Really let gratitude fill you. Do this every morning without fail. Make it non-negotiable. Make it sacred. Make it the most important 2 minutes of your day. Because it is. Because this is what's going to shift your entire relationship with money. This is what's going to change your frequency from lack to abundance. This is the foundation everything else builds on. And by the end of week 1, you should notice something different. You should notice that you're thinking about money differently. You should notice more appreciation and less scarcity. You should notice yourself feeling more abundant, even though circumstances haven't changed yet. You should notice opportunities starting to appear. Small things maybe, but noticeable. That's the gratitude working. That's the frequency shifting. That's the magnetism beginning. Week 2, add multiple source expectation. Now you've made gratitude automatic. It feels natural to appreciate your money every morning. So now you add habit 2. You continue your morning gratitude practice. That never stops. That's permanent now. And you add the daily affirmation and expectation. Money comes to me from multiple sources. Say this throughout the day. Morning when you wake, noon, night before bed, multiple times. And more importantly, believe it. Expect it. Look for it. Be alert to it. Be open to it. When opportunities appear during this week, even small ones, even things you might normally dismiss, recognize them. Pay attention to them. Follow them if they feel aligned. Open yourself to receiving from any direction. Say yes to possibilities. Explore options. Be curious about channels. Don't limit yourself to your main income source. Stay open to everything. And by the end of week 2, you should notice opportunities you didn't see before. You should notice money coming from unexpected places. Maybe small amounts. Maybe just $5 here, $10 there, but from multiple directions, from different sources. That's your consciousness expanding. That's your awareness opening. That's your magnetism growing to include multiple channels instead of just one. Week 3, add abundant spending. Now you've got gratitude and multiple source expectation wired in. They're automatic. They're natural. So you add habit 3. Every time you spend money this week, you pause, you breathe, you check your energy, and you consciously shift into abundance. You feel grateful you have money to spend. You trust more is coming. You spend joyfully. You don't grip. You don't hoard. You flow. This doesn't mean spending recklessly. This doesn't mean buying things you truly can't afford. This means every purchase you do make, you make it from abundance consciousness instead of scarcity consciousness. You make it with gratitude instead of anxiety. You make it with trust instead of fear. You make it with joy instead of guilt. And by the end of week 3, you should notice spending money feels different. It should feel lighter, less scary, less guilt-inducing. You should feel more abundant even when you're spending. You should feel more trust that flow continues. That's scarcity dissolving. That's abundance becoming your default. That's your relationship with money transforming. Week 4, add giving and celebrating. For the final week, you add habits 4 and 5. You decide on an amount to give regularly. You commit to it. You give it this week, and you start celebrating every bit of money that comes in. Every amount, every source, every payment, every inflow. All of it. Celebrate all of it. And by now, with all 5 habits in practice, with gratitude and multiple sources and abundant spending and giving and celebrating all working together, you should notice something remarkable. Money should be flowing more freely than it was 4 weeks ago. More opportunities should be appearing. More unexpected income should be arriving. More channels should be opening. More ease should be present around finances. Your income might have increased, or opportunities for increase should be clearly visible. That's magnetism. That's these 5 habits working together to create a powerful, attractive field around you. That's you becoming magnetic to money. And after 30 days, after practicing these 5 habits consistently for a full month, they're not habits anymore. They're not practices anymore. They're just who you are. They're automatic. They're natural. They're your new paradigm. Gratitude for money is automatic every morning. Expecting money from multiple sources is your default way of thinking. Spending from abundance is your natural state. Giving regularly is just what you do. Celebrating every inflow is your automatic response. All of it is wired in. All of it is installed. All of it is permanent. And that permanence creates permanent magnetism, permanent attraction, permanent flow. Now tonight, before you sleep, I want you to do a specific visualization that will prime your subconscious to integrate these 5 habits more quickly, more deeply, more completely. This is going to accelerate the 30-day process. This is going to make the installation easier. This is going to make you magnetic faster. This is going to support every practice you do over the next month. Get comfortable in bed. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Let your body relax. Let your mind quiet. Let yourself drop into a receptive state. And then imagine something very specific. Imagine that it's 30 days from now. 1 month has passed. You've been practicing these 5 habits consistently every single day without fail. They've become automatic. They become who you are. And you're going to see what your life looks like now. What your energy around money feels like. What your financial reality has become. See yourself waking up 30 days from now. See yourself automatically, naturally, joyfully looking at your money and feeling deep gratitude. Notice how easy it is, how natural, how good it feels. This isn't forced. This isn't work. This is just who you are now. Someone who appreciates money. See yourself going through your day expecting money from multiple sources. See opportunities appearing. See yourself recognizing them. See yourself acting on them. See money coming to you from directions you didn't expect. See multiple streams flowing. Feel how abundant that feels. Feel how open you are. Feel how magnetic you've become. See yourself spending money consciously from abundance. See yourself making a purchase. Notice there's no anxiety, no guilt, no fear, just gratitude, just trust, just joy. You're spending from overflow, not from lack, and it feels amazing. It feels empowering. It feels abundant. See yourself giving giving money joyfully. See yourself making your regular gift. Notice how natural it is, how good it feels, how abundant you feel in being able to give. This isn't sacrifice. This isn't loss. This is expression of your abundance. This is proof of your wealth consciousness, and it feels wonderful. See money coming to you throughout the day, and see yourself celebrating every amount, every source, getting excited, feeling grateful, expressing joy, making a big deal about all money. And notice how that celebration feels. Notice how happy it makes you. Notice how high your vibration is. Notice how magnetic you've become. And most importantly, feel what it feels like to be this person 30 days from now. This person who has these 5 habits fully installed. This person who automatically practices gratitude, expects multiple sources, spends from abundance, gives joyfully, and celebrates all money. Feel the confidence. Feel the certainty. Feel the peace. Feel the joy. Feel the abundance. Feel the magnetism. Let that feeling fill every cell of your body. Let it become your state. Let it become your frequency. This is who you're becoming. This is where you're going. This is your future self 30 days from now. Stay in this visualization for at least 10 minutes. 15 is better. Really live it. Really feel it. Really be this person. Don't rush. Don't do it superficially. Really commit. Really embody. Really become. Because every second you spend in this consciousness, your subconscious is recording it, believing it, installing it, making it real. And then let this visualization be the last thing in your consciousness as you drift off to sleep. Hold the feeling. Hold the identity. Hold the certainty. Hold the magnetism. And let your subconscious work with it all night long. Let it integrate. Let it wire. Let it become your new programming. Let it install at the deepest level. And when you wake up tomorrow, remember this visualization. Remember this feeling. Remember this person. And begin practicing the 5 habits with the certainty that they're leading you to this magnetic future self. Place your hand on your heart right now and say with complete conviction, money flows to me naturally. I practice the 5 habits that magnetize money. I am grateful for money. I expect money from multiple sources. I spend from abundance. I give joyfully. I celebrate all money. I am magnetic to money. Money is attracted to me. Money comes to me easily. Money comes to me constantly. Money comes to me from everywhere. I am wealthy. I am abundant. Money flows to me naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. This is my new reality. This is who I am. This is my truth. I am magnetic. I am abundant. Money flows. Feel those words settling into your subconscious. Feel them rewiring your paradigm. Feel them making you magnetic right now in this moment, because they are. You're becoming magnetic as you speak these words, as you claim this identity, as you commit to these habits. You're shifting from someone who chases money to someone who attracts money, from someone who struggles to someone who flows, from someone who lacks to someone who magnetizes. And that shift is happening right now. Tonight, this moment, begin your final breathing practice. Breathe in magnetic energy. Breathe out repelling energy. Breathe in abundance. Breathe out scarcity. Breathe in money flowing to you from all directions. Breathe out struggle and force. Breathe in ease. Breathe out effort. Breathe in attraction. Breathe out chasing. Breathe in magnetism. Breathe out desperation. Feel yourself becoming more magnetic with each breath. Feel money beginning to respond to your new frequency. Feel the shift happening in real time right now. As you drift off to sleep tonight, hold the feeling of being magnetic to money. Hold the image of these 5 habits becoming automatic. Hold the certainty that money flows to you naturally. Hold the knowing that you're transforming right now. And trust that while you sleep, your subconscious is rewiring. Your paradigm is shifting. Your identity is changing. You're becoming a money magnet. And tomorrow, you begin practicing the habits that make it permanent. Sleep well tonight. Dream of abundance. Dream of flow. Dream of magnetism. Wake up tomorrow, ready to start your 30-day transformation. Ready to practice habit 1. Ready to begin your journey from struggling with money to magnetizing money. Ready to become someone who naturally, automatically, inevitably attracts wealth. Because that's who you're becoming. That's what these 5 habits create. That's your destiny when you commit to this path. That's your reality when you practice consistently. Money flows to you naturally. Starting now. Starting tonight. Starting with this decision. These 5 habits. This commitment. This transformation. You are magnetic. Money is coming. Money is flowing. Money is attracted to you. Your abundant life begins now.